fuck it, I'm going to start talking, and by the time I reach the end of this sentence, something amazing will have happened, or at least something that makes you hang on for the next sentence, because maybe the sentence after this one is going to blow your mind, or maybe the first two sentences are okay, you get the fucking idea. Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about. I've just woken up. It's the last three. Oh, pigeons. Okay, you saw three of them. There's actually a lot more, and good. Thanks, pigeons, for distracting me and making me look weak and useless, which is how I feel a little bit right now. I've got a runny nose, I'm coughing, I'm a bit run down, tiny bit of a sore throat, but not too much. With 3 days of protesting to go here in Paris at the pointy end where the COP21 motherfucking talks have failed miserably, awfully, tragically. That place out at Le Bourget is full of, as an awesome woman said the other day, thieves and murderers. That's thieves and murderers, I'll repeat that. Thieves and murderers. It's also full of naive people who think they're gonna negotiate with these motherfuckers. You are so sweet. So we're fucked. Just as in Copenhagen, these talks are going to result in nothing good. And not only that, I've been talking to Indigenous folks from around the world who are extremely concerned, frightened even, about what's going to come out of these talks. Things that were decided on 30 years ago are being rolled back. Businesses, big businesses, don't want Indigenous folk around the world to have rights, because if Indigenous folk have rights, the big businesses can't lay their filthy fucking claws on forests, they can't dig mines, they can't build dams. Indigenous rights are incredibly important to saving the world. They're important. All that wilderness out there, people live there. They're called Indigenous people, and it's their fucking land. They are the stewards of that land. They are the people who know best how to care for that land. And they're being fucked out of that stewardship, which means they'll be left with nothing but poverty, misery, a hellish fucking existence. These are the people who are suffering the most. Indigenous people are the people who get fucked first, hardest and longest by climate change, or anything else white people are getting up to, or rich people are getting up to. And it's a goddamn crying fucking shame that all around the world there are these people who live in apartments like this, white, fairly comfortable people who aren't miserable enough to hit the streets. You people need to get some misery in your fucking lives, you apartment living in fucking cunts. Jesus Christ. And they're all fucking medicating themselves so they won't have a feeling that's real. I'm not trying to be self-righteous here. I'm trying to get across to you that we are so fucked if we don't hit the streets. So that's a good mood to be in. We've got 3 days of protest left, maybe 4 if the climate talks are terrible, which they are. So I don't know what we're waiting for on that one. It could well be that Indigenous concerns don't really register with white folks, so we're not going to hit the streets if if Indigenous folks get fucked over by these talks. I don't know. None of it feels real. I say the talks have failed. They haven't ended yet, but I don't believe in miracles. I believe in shit unfolding according to a plan, and I'm not seeing a fucking plan other than naive people are negotiating with thieves and murderers and expecting anything else to happen other than to be fucking robbed and killed. So anyway, and it's a bit cold this morning too, so that maybe it's bitter. It's bitterly cold, and I am bitter. That's good. It's a good motivational speech from me today. Anyway, all good. 3 days of action. We're going to go and do a thing with the angels. That's going to be civil disobedience, an act of. Tomorrow another act of civil disobedience. And Saturday, mass civil disobedience in Paris. I goddamn motherfucking hope it will be terrible if that did not happen, because it is our only actual fucking hope. Great. Wonder who that is. Okay, that's a random finish to a video.